There are moments in your life that stop you cold, not because they're dramatic, but because they tell you the truth before you're ready to hear it. During residency, my son Trey once said to me, "Dad, you can spend the night at my house if you want to." He wasn't being sarcastic, he was being sincere. And later, when he was with his grandmother, my mother, they drove past the hospital and he pointed and said, "Look, that's where my daddy lives." Kids don't exaggerate. They report what they experience. And in that moment, I realized something that I couldn't ignore anymore. Medicine hadn't just taken my time, it had quietly reshaped how my son understood my presence, or lack thereof. Medicine trains you to normalize absence, long hours, overnight call, missed holidays, and we justify it because the work matters, and it does. But medicine also trains you to carry responsibility constantly. You're always anticipating problems, always thinking ahead, always mentally occupied. That mindset keeps patients safe, but it doesn't stay at the hospital. It usually follows you home. And even when you're physically present, you're often somewhere else mentally. Kids don't understand workload. They understand attention. Trey didn't say those things because he was upset. He said them because in his mind, the hospital had become my primary address. That's where he associated with me being fully present. At home, I was tired, I was distracted, thinking about the next day. At the hospital, to him, I was focused, engaged, locked in. He was correct about that. And kids are incredibly perceptive. They don't need explanations. They draw conclusions from patterns they observe. That realization to me was devastating because it forced me to confront a version of myself that I didn't intend to be. Like a lot of physician dads, I told myself I was doing this for my family. I was providing, building a future, creating security, and all that matters. But here's the hard truth. Kids don't experience provision. They experience presence. They don't feel your intentions, they feel your availability. And when Trey said I could stay at his house, what he was really saying was, I don't see you very often. That's not an accusation, that's just information that he is perceiving. That's when I knew something had to change. Not because medicine was wrong, but because my boundaries were non-existent. I stopped assuming family time would just happen when things slowed down, because they never do. I started treating family time like a professional obligation. Certain times became protected. Certain routines became non-negotiable. Now, when I'm home, I'm intentionally present. Phone down, work closed, not perfectly, but I try to do it deliberately because I realize something critical. Medicine will always ask for more. Your kids won't. They'll just adapt to whatever version of you that they get. If you're in residency or early practice, I want you to hear this clearly. There is no future season where medicine magically gives you a time back. The habits you build now become expectations later. If your kids learn early that work always comes first, they won't complain. They'll just internalize it. Start practicing presence now if you can. Not perfectly, but intentionally, because your kids are learning who you are from what you consistently show them. Medicine measures success loudly, titles, productivity, outcomes. Fatherhood measures it quietly in trust, emotional safety, and whether your kids feel comfortable pulling you into their world. I still care deeply about my career, but I care just as deeply about where my son thinks I live, and I never want the answer to be the hospital. If you're a dad in medicine and this hits you close to home, you're not alone. This career shapes us, sometimes more than we realize, but awareness creates choice, and choice creates change. Be excellent at your work, but be unmistakably present for the people who call you dad, because one day they'll tell someone where you live. Make sure it's at their house. If you're trying to be both a great doctor and a present dad, this space is for you.